Hi guys, welcome to another YouTube video. So last videos, couple of videos, we worked on our post system. We went over basic functionalities of the post, to post, to comment, reply to a comment, like, unlike, increasing, decreasing, check if the person is blocked, and basically everything. So in the last video I also mentioned that I would be working on the messaging system this time around. So without further much ado, let us get into it. So as usual, we start in our models. So our imports, models, profile, receiver, perceive. This is signals basically. So basically what we use both these two imports for is when, let's say, whenever something is created, automatically creates another model that is relating to the instance of what was just created. So in this example, what we're actually trying to do is whenever a profile is created, create a read receipts instance for that particular profile. Basically that's what we use, but when we get there I would explain how it works. Then from cryptography dot fenet import fenet. Basically what we imported fenet for was for encryption. So I modeled my messaging system around WhatsApp, or well, let me just say around most modeling system. What most systems basically try to do is that whenever a message is sent, they don't automatically just save it in plain text in the database. So basically they take what you as a user have sent into their system, they encrypt it, and then they save it to their system. So basically even if they access it, whatever, if you send a message that is as long as whatever, it is going to be in an encrypted format that only if you have like a way to like decipher and break the code down, that is when you'll be able to know, okay, this is the content of the message. And I think that's going to be tiresome for most hackers anyway. So basically what we use fenet for is just to take our plain text and convert it into ciphertext, and then we can take our ciphertext and convert it into plain text. So whenever we are posting, the post method, it takes plain text, converts it to ciphertext, and whenever we are decrypting, that's when we are getting, it takes our fenet, our cipher, our ciphertext, and converts it to plain text. So basically it has three methods. Fenet, that is the generate key, encrypt data, and then decrypt. Basically generate is basically to just to generate a new fenet key. If you guys can see over here, you'll see a fenet.py. So basically what the fenet of pi is just key equals to, as you can see the comments here, generate a new fenet key. So fenet dot generate key. Then when we do that, we now save that key that we generated, we save it into a file called fenetkey.txt. This is the fenetkey.txt here. I will not be opening it because it is a key that is not meant to be seen like for public use. Yeah, basically it's not meant to, users are not meant to see it. That's what I'm just trying to say. Like it is the same way your secret key works, your API keys, when you use paystack and you're trying to make payments and things like that. Those API keys are not meant to be seen in the public eye. So I added the file, this Fenet key and our env, which is our environmental file, to our git ignore. So whenever I push to GitHub, these two files will not be added the um to the list of files in the repository because it is a public repository. So basically this is the generation of the key. So once we generate this key, then we can now use this key to encode and decode. So let us go into the models. The message body, sender, this is the person that is sending the message. Receiver, the encrypted body, which is what we will be seeing in the database. So even if I go to the database, what I will be seeing is an encrypted text, not what you have sent, and that is basically security. Initially I didn't actually do it like this, it was just body initially, but then I had a class today because I'm a cybersecurity student, and shout out to my HOD, Mr. Denny Akoni. So he was talking basically about the CIA triad, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So basically the whole point of confidentiality is that if messaging is happening between two people, that is user A and user B, regardless of if I'm the owner of the site and even if I have access to the database, as long as it is chats, like it is a chat, it is message between two people, it should remain private and confidential. So that is what led to this idea of this encryption thing that I did with cryptography. um then date created, that is when the message was created, read if the message has been read, and replying to, of course, if we are replying to a message, a particular message. And then I actually wrote this out, like trying to like to use to explain the way the whole encryption works. So basically, if we have our encryption key, let's just say this encryption key that we generated using this fairnet.py, let's just say that this is it, and then we now want to send the how was your day message. So firstly, what it will do is that it takes it, this how was your day, it uses this encryption key to encrypt this whole how was your day, then it now saves and then now passes it to this encrypted body, and then it saves it. And then whenever you want to get it, it will also take this, then the encrypted body that is here, will use it to decrypt it, and then it will now return how was your day. So basically that is how it works. So let me just clean this, or delete it, not clean, delete it. So I think that is a fair explanation of how it works. Then str return self.sender.str. So sender, that's the person that sent it. So we, whenever we want to see the way it is in the database, basically we just get the person's username, that okay, this is the person that sends the message. And then the set body, so we use self.getKey. This is the getKey function. It's a static method, meaning that it can be accessed from anywhere um in the file, regardless of even if it is below every other thing that is here. So yeah, get key, what get key is basically doing is just to like get the key that has been generated in this finite.key.txt. Like I said, I won't be opening it. So we open it, then we open it as key file, then we return key file.read.stream. Basically this is just like our read permission. um we have read, we have write, we have execute. So basically this is just our read permission. So we use this get key function, we use it here. So set body, what does set body do? Well, set body takes in two parameters, self and body. The body that is taken in is the body of the message that you are about to encrypt. So basically key is going to be equals to self.get key. So we're passing in the key that we've stored here, we pass it into here. Then fernet is now going to be fernet key. So basically fernet is now, okay, this is the key that has been generated, right? Okay, then what is now the message that you want to encrypt? So it is now going to use this is fernet. Now we're now going to fernet dot encrypt dot body dot encode. Basically the body that we have passed in here, we encode it, and then we now pass it into the self dot encrypted body, which is what, which is this. That is it. That's basically what set body does. Use the key, takes in the key, we assign it to fernet, that okay, do you recognize this key? Yes. Okay, since you recognize this key, now please help us and use it to encrypt the body that we have just received here. I think that makes sense. Then we pass it into the encrypted body of the model, self dot encrypted body. Yeah. Then get body, it is the opposite of set body. We get the key, we pass it into fernet. Then instead of doing fernet dot encrypt, what we just do is fernet dot decrypt self dot encrypted body. This time the encrypted body is what we are decrypting. We are not taking in any parameter other than self. So self dot encrypted body dot encode dot decode, blah blah blah. And I already explained this, what it does. Basically it's just like opening the key file that we just got. Then our meta, ordering date created, is basically like okay, the dates that the message was created. So like the most recent message that has been created, let it show first before we see previous messages. And that makes sense. We don't want to see old messages before new messages. That doesn't, I don't know, that's just upside down. Yeah. And then we have this chat model. So basically it is, initially what was in my mind was that I should just do like message, and then just whenever a user wants to get a message, just like okay, filter all the messages that has been sent from so person, blah blah blah. But I wanted it to be in an organized form where a chat between two people, all the messages that are there, they will be stored into the particular chat model. And that is why we have these messages with our many to many field relating to our message model. So as usual, sender, receiver. So um let me point this out. Whenever a chat method is created, each person is a sender and each person is a receiver. So two chats are created whenever somebody initiates a message. Two chat models is created. One where the person that is initiating the chat is sender, and in the other chat that has been created, the person is a receiver. And then the person you are sending the message to is a receiver on your own end, but on his own end, the chat that we just created, the person is a sender there. So it's just like the duality of the way you see chats. Like, oh, okay, when the way you see green and black messages on it's green and black now on WhatsApp. Yeah, green and black. Where yours is green and the other person is black. But obviously, when you don't go to the person's phone, your message is not going to be green there. Your message is going to be black, and the person's message is going to be green. I think that makes sense, yeah. Then last message is basically the last message that was sent in the chat. Last updated. Basically we're just using this as a way to like update the list of our chat. So whenever a new message has been sent in a chat and it has been updated, that okay, last updated, just like move that chat up, like to the top of your chat. Then messages, like I said, all the messages that are in the chat and opened. Basically, if the chat has been opened, return self the last message. We also do the in this place we are not doing set body, because whenever a message is sent, we are already setting it. All we are just doing is we are passing it into here. But whenever we want to get it, we use the get body function here. The get body function is the same thing as the get body function here. Get key is also the same thing. And then our read receipts, profile. So I think I already said it, or I'm not sure. Let me just go by it again. Receiver and post save. Whenever an instance of a profile is created, basically we create an instance of the read receipts that is relating to that profile. So whenever I create a new account and my profile is created for me, let also my read receipts be created for me. So basically it's just profile and read receipts. um this is the O function. Receiver, post save, it is a signal code. Basically the sender is the profile, and then if well, basically this function is just okay, the sender, the person that is sending it, the instance, that's the model instance of the list of profiles. So the instance of that particular profile model, yeah, if created, then extra keyword argument. So if created, we do read receipts to object dot create profile equals to instance, yeah, and then post save dot connect create read receipts, and then the sender is the profile. So basically this is okay, this is the person that sent the create function. I'm sorry for the noise. School life, I guess. Sender, profile, this is the person that is initiating this thing. Obviously the person doesn't know that they are initiating this creation of the read receipts. All they know is that they created a profile, and we at the back end we automatically generate the read receipts for them. So I think that makes sense. Let us go to our views, because that's where the real fun is actually. So models is a ball, a big ball. So as you can see here, I have this check block. Basically what we're using this check block to do is I noticed that I was repeating my code a lot in the other views, where I was trying to do like checking of block of okay, if the person has blocked you, the person has not blocked you, blah blah blah. So I just minimized it to a function where I can just call it and just like okay, just check if it is false or true. So basically what we do is first we get the block list of the person, the first person, and then the second person. Then we also get block list of the second person and the first person. So if if you've blocked the person, let's say the first person is you and the second person is me. So if you've blocked me, then check one should be true, and if you've not blocked me, check one should be false. And then block two is basically okay, if you've blocked me, if you have blocked me, let's check 2 be true. If you have not blocked me, let's check 2 be false. So basically we just, if check 1 is false and check 2 is false, that means nobody has blocked each other, then return false. That means messaging can happen. That means that nobody has blocked each other. But if one of them is true, as long as one of them is true, even if I didn't block you but you blocked me, or even if you didn't block me and I blocked you, just return true, because regardless of the fact that I have not blocked you but you've already blocked me, that means I can't send you a message. So this is just instead of the repetition of the code over and over again, all I can just do this is just call the check block, pass in profile and profile one, and then it will just return my response based on what I want. And then let's go into the send message view. As usual, our Swagger auto schema basically just to return the request body that has been generated by create message serializer. This is our create message serializer. So just the field and the replying. So I should have said this to body, but then I just felt like it made more sense as encrypted body since it's not front end. This is just back end. Share grab. So then replying to this is an optional field. If you are not replying to anything, you can leave it as null. Our post is authenticated, form passers, multi-pass passers to return it in passer formats, in a form format rather. Send message, so it takes in request and it takes in username. That is the username of the person you want to send the message to. So first, as usual, we check for the current person that is logged in. We get their profile, then we also get the profile of the person that you want to send the message to. We collect our request body from you. We request the two things that we want to request from you. That is the person that wants to that's the body you want to send, and if you are replying to a particular message, then we check if it is valid, raise exception true. That means if there's an error, raise an error code saying that okay, this is whatever the error might be, just return it so we can know where the error is coming from. Then validated data as usual, serializer the validated data. That is your fields basically. The fields that you entered, date created, red false, and then body is going to be validated data encrypted body. Remember that on the create message serializer the field is encrypted body. So remember with transactional atomic, basically what we are doing is if anything fails at any point, whatever changes have been made before, reverse them. So checkpoints, calling the check block function, our check block function here. So checkpoint is equals to check block profile one. So if our checkpoint is true, that means one of you have blocked each other or both of you have blocked each other, then return response okay that message cannot be sent. But if it is false, that means nobody has blocked anybody, then we now check okay if the person you're about to send the message is a private account. The reason why we are doing this is that in the case where neither of you have sent each other message and you want to send the message to a private account but you don't follow the person, we don't want you to be able to send message to a private account because that's the whole point of the privacy. Like I want to be able to control what happens on my account. Sure you get. Then we also do our follow list to get the list of followers like I was saying. Then okay, if your profile, this profile, if profile not in follow dot followers dot all, that means if profile is not in the list of your followers, then we now do chat one. Basically the reason why we're doing chat one and chat two is okay, what about in the case where okay, even though you are not following the person's account is a private account and you want to send a message to a person, but the person has already sent a message to you initially. Obviously a private account can send a message to an account that is not private. That is possible, but a person that wants to send a new message to a private account, we don't want that unless the private account has already sent a message to the person before. So basically we are doing check first that okay, this object of filter where the person that you want to send a message to and sender is equals to profile one and receiver is you. That means the person that you want to send the message to has already sent you a message, like a chat already exists between both of you. Or and then we also check again if a chat also exists. Obviously there's no way we would create that okay sender where the person is a sender and you are a receiver, and we won't create where you are the sender and that person is a receiver. So basically this is what this does. We are just trying to get that okay, we are trying to filter and in our chat that okay, is there a chat instance where that person has already sent you a message before, and is there also a chat instance where you have already also sent the person a message before. So if not chat one dot exist, that means if chat one does not exist, that means in a case where this person has not sent you a message before and you have also not sent the person message before, you cannot start a chat with a private account. Does that make sense? So in a situation where okay, even though the account is a private account, even though you are not following the person but the person has already sent you a message before and it exists, then it will break out of this line of code and it will just come down to this place. That means you can send a message to that person. That is what we are doing. But if you are the person that you want to initiate a chat with an account that is private and the person has not sent you a message before and you also don't follow the person, return that okay, you cannot start a chat with a private account. Basically, this is what this line of code, that is what it does. Then obviously we go to our next line. We try and get the chat objects for you, and we also try and get the chat object for the person. Remember our chat created, created is a boolean field. If it exists before, created is going to be true, but if it's just been created, created is going to be false. Same thing for chat2 and created2. Then we also check if replying to. The reason why we are doing this check is, the way, fine, from the front end you might think that okay, the messages that you are only going to see are the messages that are in the chat because it has been filtered that way. But as a backend developer, when I'm testing, obviously, if a message instance has been created but that message instance doesn't belong to a chat, so let's say for example now a message id 4 and a message id 2 are in the same chat, but there's also message id 3, but message id 3 is in another chat. Now if you are trying to reply to message id 3 that is not in that chat from that particular chat. So let me rephrase. So we have a chat, yeah, we have two messages in it. The id of the messages are 1 and 2, and then there's another chat where the only message in it has id 3, and now you're now coming to this chat and you are like, okay, chat, oh, I want to reply to message id 3 that is not under this chat. Does it make any sense? No, of course not. But if this check is not there, it would allow you to do it, because as long as it is a message instance, it will allow you to reply to that message, and that even though it is not under that particular chat, and we don't want that. So basically what this line is doing is, okay, if replying to, that means if the person is replying to a message, if the person specifies the message they are replying to in the data, remember it is a field that can be ignored. That means you might pass in data, you might not pass in data. But if you pass in data and the data exists, they will not check if validated data replying to, that means the id that you pass into, that you pass, is not in chat.messages.all. That means it is not in the list of messages that is under that particular chat. And again, it is not also in, we have chat and we have chat2. Chat is for you, chat2 is for the other person. So if the validated data is not in your own chat, and validated data, the id of the message that you are talking about is also not in that person's chat, then return response that says, okay, this message you are replying to is an invalid message. The message is not under this chat, so you cannot reply to a message that is not under this chat in this chat. I believe that makes sense. That is what this line is doing. I think those are the three, how do I call it, hiccups that could happen. The block, if you block the person, then if you are trying to start a chat with a private account, even though a chat doesn't exist between you before, and then you are trying to reply to a message that is not in that chat, then we have checks for it, basically saying that okay, blah blah blah, you cannot start chat with a private account, or you are replying to an invalid message, or even you've blocked the person or whatever. Then we create a message object where sender, receiver, date created, read, validated data, that is the data that we passed in into here, that we got from our serializer field here. And then message the set body. Now remember, in our models we have this set body function, and remember what I said, the set body function basically takes in the body that we have passed into it, encrypts it with this with this key that is here, and then saves it into the encrypted body. So basically by just calling the function, we're just calling the function here now, message the set body. Remember that we passed in validated data, encrypted body into body, and then we now do message the set body. Since we know that basically what this function is doing, like I already explained, it takes in that body that the person has already passed into it, it passes it into this function, then this function now passes it into the encrypted body field in the database. Same thing for this too. Chat the last message on encrypted body, that is the message that just been created, the encrypted body is passing to it, last updated, the date it was created, then we add our messages, that is the message that has just been created to the particular chat.save, that is for the sender, and this is also for the receiver, doing the same thing. Then we return our success, our message that okay, if everything goes well, success. If there's an exception, return the error. Then the other two views, these are just simple things. Get charts. That's basically you just want to get all the charts that's where you are the sender. And you are communicating between people. So remember, user request or user profile to get the profile that like you that you are logged in. Then we get the charts objects that's where you are the sender, where you are the sender. Obviously, in their own end too, you are the receiver, but we are just trying to get chat objects where you are the sender. Then we are ordering it by last updated. Remember, the latest charts that has just been updated, we want it to appear up top. Then we created a decrypted chat list. So basically, we are now looping over our chat. So if there is more than one chat, what we are just doing is okay, for each chat in one of these chats, decrypted chat or append. So ID is going to be the chat ID. That's going to be the ID of the particular chat. And then receiver of that chat. Chat.receiver.username, we return their username. Then the receiver ID, chat.receiver.id, their ID. Then last message. Remember our get body function under our chats. What does it do? It decrypts last message. Can you see? It decrypts last message. So um last message chat.getBody, it will decrypt it and it will pass it here. Basically now, I don't know what messages they've sent if I should go to the database, but they know the messages that they've sent. So our whole purpose of encryption and security has been fulfilled. Then our last updated chat or last updated, then opened if the chat has been opened, false. Then we return our response decrypted chats, blah blah blah. So basically, if there are more than one chat, it will return everything as a list, but with dictionary formats for each of them. We are appending it to this decrypted chat. Does that make sense? I think it does. Open chats basically, so after we've gotten our list of chats and we now want to, okay, we just want to open this chat to see all the messages that we've exchanged in the chat. So user request the user profile to get your profile. Then you're now okay when you're now passing the ID. Remember again, obviously in your own end from the front end, you're going to be thinking that doesn't necessarily mean all the chats I'm seeing are all my chats. But in the back end, remember there are multiple chats that might not belong to you. So if your profile and the person that is sending in that chat are not the same people, return that okay, you're trying to access something, user response invalid request. Else, same thing that we did up here, messages list. Then for ch in chat.messages.all, that means okay, for each message that is under that chat, what should we return? What should be the data that we should return for the messages? So ID, of course, the message ID. This ch is not chat, it is actually representing each messages that is under that particular chat that we've just gotten here. So ID is going to be message.id, receiver is going to be message.receiver.username, the receiver ID is going to be message.receiver their ID. Then the body, remember our get body function, message.get body, date created, message.date created, if it has been read, message.read, replying to, message.replying to dot get body. If message.replying to, that means if the person passes it in, remember it is a nullable field. That means if it doesn't exist, then just return none. If we don't add this field and we just leave this alone, it is going to return a message saying that even if the field is empty, it's going to return a message that okay, this doesn't exist. But with this check, if it exists, else passing none to this keyword, key and pair dictionary pairing. Yeah, it's key. This replying to is the key, and this is the body. So keyword dictionary pairing. That is the way I understand it anyways. Replying to ID, the ID of the message that you are replying to. If it exists, if it doesn't, return none. That is basically everything. So I have implemented encryption, send messages. Then in the next video I think we'll be doing read receipts and deleting and editing of messages. And then I'll think of what else to add to the social media this thing, maybe bookmarking of posts, although that doesn't seem like something that is going to stress me too much. So thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something. Encryption, security, cyber security, blah blah blah. God bless you. Good night or good morning whenever you're watching this video, or even good afternoon. Ciao.